Ladies and gentlemen, imagine this. You wake up tomorrow with $86,400 in your bank. Every single day, you get the same amount. But by midnight, whatever you didn't use disappears. You can't save it. You can't get it back. What would you do? You'd spend it wisely, right? You'd plan every dollar. You'd invest it. You wouldn't waste it. Well, that's exactly how time works. You get 86,400 seconds every single day. And every night, whatever you didn't use well, it's gone. Forever. Let me ask you something that might sound simple. What did you do with your last 24 hours? Not last month, not last year, just yesterday. You had 24 hours, right? Same as me, same as the richest person you know, same as the laziest person you know, but somehow the results are not the same. Why? Because most people don't manage their 24 hours, they survive them. Let's be honest. We wake up, grab our phone, and boom, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, notifications, and before you even say good morning, it's already 11 a.m. You say, I'll just scroll for 5 minutes. But somehow your breakfast, your plan, your motivation, everything gets scrolled away. You see, everyone says, time is money. No. Time is life. You lose money, you can make it back. You lose time, you never get it back. And the funniest part, we always say, I don't have time. No one in history ever had time. They made it. Think about this. You have 24 hours. Let's break it down. 8 hours for sleep. Fair enough. 8 hours for work or study. Okay. You still have 8 hours left. Now here's the secret. It's not what you do in your 8 working hours that changes your life. It's what you do in the other 8. That's where your dreams live. That's where you learn skills, build something, improve yourself, or waste it watching videos about cats who are more productive than you. We love to say, I'll do it when I have time. But the truth is, you'll never have time. You'll only have choices. You choose to scroll or to learn. You choose to gossip or to grow. You choose to sleep early or to snooze your life away. Because, ladies and gentlemen, every day is a countdown. 86,400 seconds. Tick, tick, tick. The question isn't, do you have time? The real question is, are you spending it on something that matters? So today, I'll tell you how to manage these 24 hours. Not with fancy words or apps or those 5 a.m. billionaire routines. No, no, no. I'm talking about real life where your alarm rings, you hit snooze 5 times, and then blame destiny for being late. Let's start with mornings. Everyone says, wake up early. Successful people wake up at 4 a.m. My friend, I woke up at 4 a.m. once. I just stared at the wall and asked myself why I exist. It's not about waking up early. It's about waking up for something. If you don't know why you're waking up, it doesn't matter when you wake up. And let's be honest, we all wake up with that one thought, 5 more minutes. Those 5 minutes are the most expensive minutes in history. They have destroyed more dreams than failure ever did. You close your eyes for 5 minutes, and somehow you open them in 45. Then comes the phone ritual. You open your eyes, open your phone, and start comparing your half-asleep face with someone's beach vacation photo. They're sipping coconuts. You're sipping guilt. That's how your day begins. Listen, your morning decides your mindset. If your first hour goes to your phone, you're already living in other people's lives. So here's the rule. Don't touch your phone for 30 minutes after waking up. Drink water, stretch, sit in silence, look in the mirror, and just remind yourself, I'm not that bad. Now let's talk about work or study time. That big middle chunk of the day. You sit to focus. You say, today I'll do everything. Then one notification pops up. Just a second. That second becomes 2 hours, 12 reels, 4 snacks, and 1 full identity crisis. We say we don't have time. No, we just leak time. 1 leak here, 1 distraction there, and your 24 hours are gone like Wi-Fi in a storm. You don't need to manage your time. You need to manage your attention. Turn off your phone when you work. Don't worry, your friend's cat video will still be there later. And stop saying, I'll start when I feel motivated. Motivation is like Wi-Fi. Sometimes it's strong, sometimes it's gone, and sometimes your neighbor has it and you don't. You can't wait for motivation. You have to move without it. Because once you start, motivation appears. It's not the cause, it's the result. Now let's talk about energy. You can plan your hours perfectly, but if your brain feels like Windows 98, nothing works. So take care of your energy. Sleep properly, drink water. Take breaks. You're not a robot. Even your phone needs charging. And please, don't try to do everything. Some people want to become fit, rich, smart, famous, spiritual, all in 1 week. My friend, calm down. You're not an iPhone update. Focus on one thing at a time. When you try to chase 10 rabbits, you don't catch any, you just tire yourself out and start hating running. So when it comes to managing your 24 hours, keep it simple. Do a few things fully instead of many things half-heartedly. Be honest with your time, because at the end of the day, your calendar never lies. It shows exactly where your life is going. And remember, you don't need to win every day. You just need to stop losing the same day again and again. Managing your 24 hours isn't about perfection. It's about awareness. Knowing when you're wasting time and stopping yourself before your future pays the price. Now, let's talk about the middle of the day, the most dangerous time zone in human history. You know what I'm talking about, that post-lunch coma. You eat, you feel full, and suddenly your brain says, "We did great today. Let's retire." That time between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m., that's when 90% of dreams quietly die. Not because people quit, but because they get sleepy. You open your laptop, your body's at work, but your soul is on vacation. You keep clicking the mouse, hoping somehow your screen will do the job for you. Listen, this part of the day decides whether your 24 hours are productive or just busy. Because this is where most people switch to autopilot, doing random things that feel like work, but don't actually move them forward. So how do you manage this midday zone? Simple. First, don't eat like you're preparing for hibernation. We all know that lunch, where you eat so much rice, your body files for shutdown. Keep it light. Eat to fuel your brain, not to punish your body. Second, right after lunch, don't go straight into heavy work. You're human, not a superhero. Take 10-15 minutes to reset. Walk, stretch, drink water, maybe listen to music, or step outside for some sunlight. That short reset makes the next few hours way sharper. Third, plan your hardest tasks before lunch and your easiest after. Your brain's peak focus hours are usually in the morning. After lunch, it wants comfort, not challenge. So if you schedule your toughest meetings or creative work right after lunch, of course you'll feel drained. But if you handle lighter tasks, emails, planning, reviews, you'll flow better. Fourth, avoid fake productivity. You know, when you're busy doing 100 small things that make you feel productive, but actually achieve nothing. Answering random texts, switching tabs, cleaning your desktop, that's not productivity. That's digital anxiety. Try this instead. Pick one major goal for your afternoon. Just one. Say, if I finish this one thing before 5 p.m., today is a win. And focus only on that. That's how you build momentum. Fifth, and this one's funny but true, don't trust the bed after lunch. You lie down for 5 minutes, and suddenly, it's 7 p.m., you've lost time, motivation, and all hope. Beds after lunch are like black holes. Once you go in, you're not coming out. So when that lazy wave hits, don't fight it. Outsmart it, stand, move, talk, change your location. Energy creates energy. Sitting still kills it. And finally, have a midday checkpoint with yourself. Just 2 minutes, ask, am I moving closer to my goals or just passing time? That question alone can save you hours every single day. Because managing your 24 hours isn't about controlling the clock. It's about catching yourself before time slips away unnoticed. So next time lunch makes you sleepy, remember that's the universe testing your discipline. Most people stop here. You reset, refocus, and keep going. That's how you manage your 24 hours like a pro. Now let's talk about evenings. The time of the day when people either grow or completely destroy their progress. Because what you do after 6 p.m. decides how your tomorrow will feel. Let's be honest. Evenings are dangerous. You come home tired. You tell yourself, I'll just rest for 10 minutes. And then Netflix asks, are you still watching? Like a judgmental friend. And you're there with chips in your hand, thinking, yes, and I hate myself. This is where most people lose control of their 24 hours. The workday ends, but the day isn't over yet. The successful ones use this time to build themselves. Everyone else uses it to escape themselves. So how do you manage your evenings? Rule number 1, don't waste your second life. You've worked for others all day. Your boss, your school, your deadlines. Evenings are the hours you own. Use them wisely. After work or study, take a small break. Yes, but not the kind that turns into a marathon of distractions. Do something that feeds your energy, not kills it. Go for a walk, hit the gym, read a few pages, talk to someone who lifts you up, not drags you down. And please stop saying I'm too tired. You're not tired, you're unfulfilled. When you spend all day doing things you don't love, of course you'll feel drained. But do something meaningful and watch how your energy magically returns. Here's a trick that works. Before dinner, spend 15 minutes reviewing your day. Not like a report, like a mirror. Ask yourself, did I use today well? What stole my time? What made me proud? Because self-awareness is the best time management tool in the world. Then, plan tomorrow tonight. Not a huge list, just 3 things that actually matter. That way, when you wake up, you already have a direction instead of scrolling in confusion. And now let's talk about the final hours, the nights. Most people waste them in endless scrolling, fake relaxation, and overthinking. You tell yourself just one last video, and suddenly it's 2 a.m. and you're deep into a conspiracy about how pigeons are government drones. Listen, your phone is not your pillow. Scrolling till you sleep doesn't relax your mind, it clogs it. You wake up tired, not because you slept less, but because your brain never truly rested. So, 1 hour before bed, disconnect. No screens, no noise, just calm. Write, stretch, or just sit with your thoughts. You'll be surprised how peaceful silence can be when you stop running from it. And here's the final evening rule. End your day with gratitude, not guilt. Don't sleep thinking about what you didn't do. Sleep proud of what you did. Because peace is not the absence of work. It's the awareness that you gave your best today. Your 24 hours are like a story. Mornings are the introduction, afternoons are the action, and evenings, that's the conclusion. And if your ending is calm, focused, and meaningful, you wake up ready to write a better next chapter. So before you sleep tonight, ask yourself, did I use my time, or did time use me? That one question can change how you live every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, now we've traveled through your entire 24 hours, morning, midday, afternoon, evening, and night. And by now, you probably realize something. Managing your 24 hours isn't about being perfect. It's about being aware. Let me tell you a secret. Life doesn't reward plans, apps, or fancy schedules. Life rewards people who show up. People who take each hour seriously, even when no one is watching. People who choose focus over distraction, action over excuses. Think about this. You have the same 24 hours as the richest, smartest, most successful people on the planet. And yet some of them change the world while others are still scrolling memes. Why? Because success doesn't need more hours, it needs better hours. So what do? Wake up with purpose. Don't let your phone steal your morning. Handle the post-lunch slump like a champ. Reset, refocus, and tackle what matters. Guard your afternoons. 1 focused hour beats 10 distracted ones. Use your evenings wisely. Reflect, recharge, plan, and end your nights with peace, not guilt. But here's the real kicker. This isn't just about time management. It's about self-respect. Every time you honor your hours, you honor yourself. Every time you choose focus over distraction, you tell the world, I matter. My dreams matter. My life matters. And let me be honest, nobody else is going to do it for you. Not your boss, not your family, not luck. Time won't wait. Life won't pause. The clock ticks whether you're ready or not. So here's my challenge to you. Look at the next 24 hours like $86,400 in your bank account. Spend it wisely. Invest it in yourself. Don't waste a second. Because the difference between an ordinary life and an extraordinary one isn't talent, luck, or opportunity. It's how you use your time. It's how you take control of the one thing you can never get back. And when you start doing this, when you really start managing your 24 hours, you'll notice something amazing. Life stops being random. Stress stops being overwhelming. And suddenly, your dreams don't feel impossible anymore. So go ahead, wake up tomorrow with intention. Make small choices that matter. Focus, act, reflect, repeat, and in 1 year, those 24 hours you manage today will become a life most people only dream of. Remember this, you can't add more hours to your day, but you can change how every single one counts. That's the power of managing your 24 hours. That's the power to change your life. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe, my friends. Stop for a second and think, how many times today has someone actually gotten under your skin? Maybe a friend ghosted your message, your sibling ate the last piece of cake, or a stranger cut you off in traffic, and suddenly your blood is boiling. Crazy thing is, it's always the little things that ruin our mood, right? But what if I told you, you could go through life without letting anyone bother you? Not even for a second. Yes, today in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how to never get angry or bothered by anyone. So stay with me till the end. Here's the reality. People will push your buttons. Life will test your patience. A colleague will take credit for your work. A stranger will say something rude. Your friend will forget your birthday. And if you react every single time, congratulations, you just handed over control of your happiness. The first step to breaking this cycle is simple. Awareness. The moment irritation rises, pause, breathe. Ask yourself, will this matter tomorrow, next week, next year? Most of the time, it won't. Once you truly understand this, you start walking through life like a mountain, unshaken, calm, and smiling at the chaos around you. And this is just the beginning. In the next part, I'll show you the secret mindset trick that makes it almost impossible to get angry at anyone, even in the most frustrating situations. Here's something most people never realize. When someone frustrates you, insults you, or makes your day harder, it's almost never about you. Think about it. Your colleague snaps at you in a meeting. Are they really upset with you? Or are they stressed about deadlines they can't handle? Your friend forgets to reply to your message. Are they ignoring you? Or is life just crazy busy for them? That stranger in traffic, cutting you off. Probably late for an appointment or stuck in terrible traffic themselves. Here's the key. Their words and actions reflect them, not you. But if you take it personally every time, you're handing them the remote control to your emotions, and that's dangerous. Let me give you a real example. Adults face all the time. Your coworker takes credit for a project you worked hard on. You could yell, stew, or scroll angrily through your messages. Or you could pause and think, they're probably insecure and trying to prove themselves. Suddenly, your irritation loses its power. The real power is in seeing the bigger picture. People are fighting their own battles, carrying their own frustrations, and making mistakes every single day. Once you understand this, their negativity bounces off you like rain on an umbrella. So next time someone tries to get under your skin, ask yourself, what is really going on with them? Is this about me or about them? Now that we understand that other people's actions aren't really about us, it's time to talk about the most important step, creating a mind that no one can disturb. Think of your mind like an apartment. If you leave the door open, anyone can walk in, leave trash on your floor, and rearrange your furniture. But if you lock the door, only you control what enters. Your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions, they all stay under your control. Let me give you some real-life examples. The colleague who criticizes your work, instead of reacting, think, this is their frustration, not mine. The friend who cancels plans last minute, pause, breathe, and say, their schedule, their chaos, not my mood. The driver who cuts you off in traffic, smile, breathe, and let it go. You've got better things to focus on. Here's the science behind it. When irritation rises, your brain releases stress chemicals. But if you consciously pause and redirect your thoughts, you literally train your brain to stay calm. Meditation, deep breathing, and reframing situations aren't just cliches. They physically rewire your brain for peace. The real trick? Decide in advance what you will and won't let bother you. This is your mental fortress. People might yell, insult, or annoy, but if your mind is locked, their chaos can't touch you. And the best part? Once you master this, life becomes lighter. Decisions are clearer, stress disappears, and your happiness stops depending on anyone else. Now that you've learned to understand others and build your inner sanctuary, it's time for the final piece. How to respond when life tries to push your buttons, but without losing your cool. Here's the truth. People will always try to annoy you. A coworker takes credit for your idea. A customer complains unfairly. A friend cancels plans at the last minute. And yes, a stranger might cut you off in traffic while flipping you the bird. The difference between someone who gets bothered and someone who doesn't? Reaction versus response. Reaction, you explode, argue, or stew in anger. Energy wasted. Stress rises. You feel small. Response, you pause, observe, and act consciously. Maybe you calmly address the issue, maybe you let it slide. But either way, your peace stays intact. Let's be real. Staying unbothered doesn't mean ignoring life. It means choosing what deserves your energy and what doesn't. Think of it like being a VIP in your own life. Only problems that matter. Your goals, your growth, your happiness, get access. Everything else, turn it away at the door. Here's a practical trick I use. Every time irritation rises, ask yourself, will this matter tomorrow? Next week? Next year? Is this worth my energy? What can I control here? And what can't I? Once you do this consistently, people, situations, and small annoyances lose their power over you. You start walking through life like a mountain. Calm, confident, smiling at the chaos around you. Remember this. Anger is a choice. Being bothered is a choice. And every time you choose peace, you grow stronger, wiser, and freer. So go ahead. Face life's chaos. Laugh at it. Learn from it. And never ever give anyone control over your happiness again. Thank you for listening. And don't forget to like and subscribe, my friends. Ladies and gentlemen, let me start with a brutal truth. Most people don't plan their day, they just survive it. They wake up like their alarm just attacked them. They sit on the bed like they're loading a software update. And before their brain even starts, they open their phone. Congratulations, the day is already gone. Because the moment you check your phone in bed, you're not planning your day. Instagram, TikTok, and WhatsApp are planning it for you. And trust me, they don't plan it for your success. You know this feeling. You pick up your phone for 5 minutes. Next thing you know, you've watched 3 memes, 11 reels, 1 motivational quote, and a cat that can play the piano. Then you look at the clock like, bro, how is it 11:47 a.m.? So today, I'm going to show you how to plan your day in a way that actually works. You ever notice how some people wake up like they're the CEO of a big company, and others wake up like they just got hit by that company's HR department? Let me paint the picture. One person wakes up, stretches, drinks water, checks their goals, looks like a warrior. Another person wakes up, checks the phone, sees memes, scrolls reels, laughs for 20 minutes, and boom, the day is gone. Not even started, but already gone. And when you ask them, what's your plan today? They say the most dangerous sentence ever invented. I'll figure it out. We'll see what happens. My friend, we'll see is not a life strategy. It is the national anthem of failure. Look at anyone successful. Actors, athletes, billionaires, scientists. They don't rely on we'll see. They wake up with intention. Do you think Cristiano Ronaldo wakes up and says, today I'll just kick the ball whenever I feel like it? Never. He plans every hour, every drill, every rest, every meal. That's why he performs like a machine. Even comedians plan. Kevin Hart doesn't wake up and say, let me go outside, maybe something funny will happen. No. He structures his day so his creativity has space to work. Successful people are not smarter, they are structured. And ordinary people are not unsuccessful, they are unplanned. And the first rule of a system is this. If you don't plan your day will plan you, and it's never in your favor. Let me give you a simple example. Think about the days you had an exam in school. Those days you woke up early. You were ready. You were focused. You had a plan. Why? Because the exam forced you to plan. Now imagine if your life mattered to you the way an exam did. Success is simple. Treat every day like there's an exam tomorrow. People say they're stressed because they have too much to do. No. People are stressed because they have no idea how to do it. And here is the good news. Planning your day doesn't take 2 hours. Planning your day doesn't take fancy apps. Planning your day doesn't require being a genius. All it needs is 10 minutes of intention. 10 minutes at night or 10 minutes in the morning to prepare the blueprint of your life. Because without a plan, you're not living, you're drifting. And drifting is what keeps people average forever. Your day can make you, your day can break you, your day can change you, but only if you choose it, instead of letting it choose you. Now that you understand why most people drift through their day, it's time to take control. Planning your day isn't complicated. It doesn't need apps, planners, or expensive journals. It needs one thing, a simple system that actually works. Step 1, decide your top 3 priorities for the day. Not 10, not 20, just 3. Think about it. If you try to do everything, you'll end up doing nothing. It's like trying to juggle 10 eggs at once. Eventually, they all crash to the floor. So pick 3. Maybe it's finishing a project, working out, and calling someone important. Maybe it's studying, cleaning your room, and replying to emails. Whatever it is, make these non-negotiable. These are the things that will move your life forward, not the random tasks your brain thinks are urgent. Step 2. Block your time like a CEO. Look at your day as if you are the CEO of your own company, because you are. Schedule when you will do each task. Not vaguely, not maybe around 3 p.m., but 9 to 10:30, I work on this. 10:30 to 11, I call this person. 11 to 11:30, I take a break. Here's the truth. Unplanned time is wasted time. Ever notice how you say, I'll work after lunch, and suddenly lunch lasts 3 hours? Blocking your time fixes that. It gives structure, like rails for a train. Without it, your day derails. Step 3. Start with the hardest task first. Most people do the opposite. They scroll social media, answer emails, then maybe get to the important work if they have time. Guess what? That's how dreams die quietly. Successful people attack the hardest, most important task when their brain is fresh. Step 4. Schedule breaks and recharge time. Yes, you're going to work hard, but even machines overheat without maintenance. Pomodoro technique. Short walks, water, stretching, it's not optional. Your brain will perform better. Your focus will sharpen. And your mood won't crash by 2 p.m. Step 5. Review and adjust every night. At the end of your day, spend 5 minutes asking, what worked, what didn't, what can I improve tomorrow? Even billionaires do this. Oprah does this. Every successful person I've studied has this habit. You learn faster when you measure your day, not just go through it. Now let's make it real with an example you can relate to. Imagine your day like a video game. You have a mission. If you wander aimlessly, you get stuck on side quests, trolls, and distractions. But if you plan, prioritize, attack the main mission first, and recharge strategically, you level up faster than anyone else in the game. Even famous people do this. Elon Musk blocks his entire day in 5-minute intervals. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson schedules his workouts, meals, and work calls like clockwork. And you know why? Because free time without a plan is chaos. Here's the key takeaway. Planning your day is not about controlling every minute. It's about giving your brain a map. With a map, you move faster, avoid mistakes, and finish what matters. And the best part? Once you master planning your day, stress disappears. Procrastination disappears, and suddenly you realize you actually have enough time to do everything that's important. Now that you know the system, let's talk about the real reason most people fail to plan their day. It's not laziness. It's not lack of intelligence. It's distractions, and it's habits. Think about it. How often do you sit down to plan your day, and then suddenly, 20 minutes later, you're scrolling TikTok, checking WhatsApp, or watching a random YouTube video? Your day never even started. And the funny thing, you don't even notice it happening. You open your laptop to work on something important, and then a notification pops up. Your friend liked your photo. You click, then 5 minutes later, recommended video. A cat falls off a table. Next thing you know, an hour is gone. Or imagine you wake up intending to exercise. You walk to the gym, but remember, oh, I need to check my emails first. Then your phone pings, a group chat, a meeting reminder, and suddenly you're back in bed, scrolling. This is why planning isn't enough by itself. You need intentional focus and a few hacks to make the plan stick. Here are 3 daily life hacks that actually work. Hack 1. Treat your plan like a meeting with a billionaire. If a billionaire scheduled a call with you at 10 a.m., would you scroll memes instead? No. Treat your top priorities the same way. Respect the time you set for yourself. Hack 2. Use the 2-minute rule for small tasks. If it takes less than 2 minutes, reply, clear, do it now. Don't leave little things lingering because they pile up and steal your mental energy. Hack 3. Batch similar tasks together. Answering emails, making calls, or running errands. Do them in blocks. If you keep switching tasks, your brain wastes energy every single time. Multitasking isn't productivity. It's chaos with a smile. Let's make it visual. Your day is like a kitchen. Every task is an ingredient. If you just throw them in randomly, it turns into a messy, burnt soup. But if you follow a recipe, plan, prep, cook, you get a delicious meal every single day. And here's something most people miss. Energy matters more than time. Ever notice how 2 p.m. is your soul-crushing slump? Your plan has to respect your natural energy cycles. Do deep work when you're sharp. Do administrative or simple tasks when your energy dips. That way, your day flows instead of crashes. Even successful people rely on this. Bill Gates used to schedule think weeks where he would focus without distractions. Oprah journals every morning to clarify priorities. And you know why? Because clarity beats chaos every single time. Finally, remember this. Planning your day isn't a one-time task. It's a daily habit, like brushing your teeth or drinking water. The more consistent you are, the more automatic it becomes, and the less mental energy it steals from you. Here's the takeaway. Distractions are your enemy. Small tasks should either be done immediately or batched. Plan according to your energy, not just your clock. Treat your plan like a meeting with someone who matters yourself. Master these, and your day stops controlling you. Your day becomes your secret weapon. And once you own your day, you start owning your life. Now that you know how to plan your day and handle distractions, let's talk about routines and habits that make your planning actually work. See, planning is useless if your day doesn't follow a pattern. You can write the perfect plan, but if you wake up late, scroll for an hour, skip meals, or forget breaks, the plan is dead on arrival. Here's the secret. Build routines that support your plan. Start with the morning. Your morning sets the tone for the entire day. You've seen people scroll in bed for an hour, brush their teeth halfway, and wonder why they're behind before 9 a.m. Compare that to someone who wakes up, drinks water, stretches, writes down their priorities, and takes action immediately. Which one do you think ends the day feeling accomplished? Exactly. Even famous people do this. Tim Cook wakes up at 3:45 a.m. to exercise and check emails. Richard Branson starts his day with exercise and family time. And you know what they have in common? They don't wait for motivation. They follow the routine. Next, use micro habits throughout the day. These are small actions that don't take long, but have a huge cumulative effect. For example, spend 5 minutes reviewing your plan midday. Take 2-minute breaks every hour to stretch and recharge. Spend 10 minutes at the end of the day reflecting on what worked and what didn't. These micro habits anchor your day. They prevent drift. They keep your plan alive. Here's a funny but real-life example. Imagine two friends, both with big goals. One wakes up, plans nothing, and drifts through the day. By evening, he's exhausted and has nothing to show. The other wakes up, plans 10 minutes, follows the schedule, and hits 3 major tasks. At night, he's tired too, but proud, energized, and one step closer to his dreams. The difference? Routines. Small habits that support the plan. Nothing magical, nothing complicated. Another key tip. Batch similar activities together. Emails, calls, errands, do them in blocks. Switching tasks burns your brain. Multitasking is a productivity killer disguised as busyness. And don't forget, energy management matters more than time management. Plan deep work for when your energy is high. Plan simple or routine tasks when your energy dips. Your day is not a stopwatch, it's a cycle. Respect it. Finally, end your day with a nightly review. Take 5-10 minutes to look at what you achieved and what you can improve tomorrow. This simple habit rewires your brain to respect your plan. Tomorrow becomes easier because today was intentional. Here's the takeaway. Morning routines shape your day. Micro habits keep your plan alive. Batch tasks and respect energy cycles. Reflect at night to improve consistently. Master these and planning stops being a chore. It becomes effortless, automatic, and your day becomes a weapon, not a random series of moments. Now that you know how to plan your day, handle distractions, and build routines, it's time for the final truth. Your future is built one day at a time. Every successful person you admire, athletes, CEOs, artists, didn't become great overnight. They mastered their daily choices, one day at a time. Let me paint the picture. Imagine two people. Person A drifts through their day, reacts to notifications, procrastinates, and sleeps without a plan. Person B follows a system, plans their day, prioritizes, and respects their time. 1 year later, who do you think has more progress? The answer is obvious. The difference isn't luck. It's daily planning. It's consistent action. Here's something funny but real. You know people who always say, I don't have time. They scroll memes for an hour, chat for another hour, and binge videos for 3. Meanwhile, someone else spends just 10 minutes planning, and suddenly they finish the same work in half the time. The only difference? They respect their 24 hours. Think of your day like a bank account. You get 24 hours every single day, no exceptions. Spend them wisely. Invest them in what matters, and your wealth grows. Waste them and you're bankrupt tomorrow. Let's make it even more relatable. LeBron James doesn't just play basketball. He plans every minute: training, meals, sleep, recovery, mental preparation. Emma Watson doesn't just act. She schedules study, rehearsals, and personal growth. And you don't have to be famous to use the same principle. You just have to start respecting your day. Here's the challenge. Tonight, before you sleep, or tomorrow morning, take 10 minutes. Write down your top 3 priorities. Block your time. Plan your breaks. Decide when you'll tackle the hardest task first. And stick to it like it's the most important meeting of your life. Because here's the truth. Your day can be your weapon. Your day can be your ticket to freedom, success, and growth. Or it can destroy your potential if you let it drift away. And the most powerful part? You don't need extra time. You don't need luck. You just need intention. You just need structure. You just need to plan your day. Remember this: success doesn't come to people who wait. It comes to people who decide, act, and own their 24 hours. So start now. Plan your day, respect your time, and watch how your life transforms. One powerful, intentional day at a time. Because when you master your day, you master your life. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe, my friends. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been told all your life to work hard, study hard, and one day you'll succeed. But look around you, is that true? If it was, wouldn't your parents already be millionaires? Wouldn't your teachers, who worked harder than anyone you know, already be rich and free? But they're not. And this is where you realize it's not just about hard work. It's not just about studying. It's about how you think. Because if your thinking is wrong, all the effort in the world won't save you. Think about it. You know people who wake up early every single day, go to their job, spend long hours working, sacrifice time with family, sacrifice their health, sacrifice their youth, and after 20 years, they're still broke, still stressed, still praying for a little raise at the end of the year. If working hard was the key, they should already be living the life of their dreams, but they aren't. Why? Because they're thinking like everybody else, and when you think like everybody else, you live like everybody else, and the majority of people are broke, stressed, and waiting for someone to rescue them. But let me tell you something uncomfortable. Nobody is coming to rescue you. Not your boss, not your government, not even your family. The only person who can change your life is you, and the only way you change your life is by changing your thinking. Here's the truth. Your mind is the operating system of your life. If the code is wrong, the program crashes. You can have energy, talent, and even opportunities. But if your mindset is filled with fear, excuses, and doubt, you'll waste it all. That's why some people with less talent and less education still succeed, while others with everything going for them stay stuck. It's not about what you have, it's about how you think. When I was young, I believed success was about luck, that some people were just born into it, or the right doors opened for them. But the more I studied, the more I realized they don't have different doors, they just think differently when they see the same door. Poor thinkers see obstacles. Rich thinkers see opportunities. Poor thinkers see cost. Rich thinkers see value. Poor thinkers ask, why me? Rich thinkers ask, why not me? And this one shift changes everything. Let me give you an example. 2 young men decide they want to start a business. The first one says, it's impossible. I don't have money. I don't have connections. Nobody will support me. The second one says, I'll start small. I'll use what I have. I'll learn as I go. Maybe I'll fail, but I'll fail forward. 10 years later, the first man is still complaining, still broke. The second man owns a company. Same background, same opportunities, but different thinking. Most people don't fail because the world stopped them. They fail because their own thoughts stopped them. They kill their ideas before they're even born. They say, what if it doesn't work? And they never ask, what if it does? They say, I can't afford this, instead of asking, how can I afford this? And when you repeat that wrong thinking day after day, your life becomes a prison. The saddest part is this: the cage doesn't even need a lock, because most people never try to escape. They tell themselves, this is my life, this is who I am, this is all I can do. And the mind believes it. Your mind is always listening to you. If you say you can't, you won't. If you say you're unlucky, you'll stay unlucky. If you say you'll fail, you've already failed before trying. That's why the richest place on earth is not a bank, it's the graveyard. Because in the graveyard are millions of dreams that never came to life. Not because people didn't have talent, not because they didn't have time, but because they thought wrong. They buried their dreams while they were still alive. So listen carefully. Your first job is not to work hard. Your first job is to think correctly. When you think correctly, your actions align. When you think correctly, your energy flows in the right direction. When you think correctly, you start to see opportunities where others only see obstacles. Correct thinking means asking better questions. Not can I, but how can I? Not what if I fail, but what if I succeed? Not why me, but why not me? And here's the warning. If you don't shift your thinking, you will waste years running in circles. You'll run fast, but you'll never move forward. One day, you'll wake up older, tired, frustrated, asking yourself, why is my life still the same? And the answer will be simple, because you never learned how to think correctly. That's why in this journey, the first step is not money, not talent, not even luck. The first step is to reprogram your mind, because until you think differently, nothing in your life will be different. And the question now is, how do you actually start changing your thinking? That's what I'll show you in the next part. But be ready, because it will force you to face truths that most people never dare to face. Be honest with yourself. How many times have you destroyed your own dream before anyone else even had the chance to? You had an idea. You felt excited, and then in your head you whispered, I can't, I'll fail. People will laugh, I'm not ready. And just like that, you killed your future with your own hands. Nobody else did it. You did. That's why I say your biggest enemy is not the government, not your boss, not your family. Your biggest enemy is the voice inside your own head. That voice has destroyed more dreams than failure ever will. Think about how many times you wanted to try something new, start a business, learn a skill, take a risk, and before you even moved, your mind whispered, what if you fail? What will people say? You're not good enough, you're not ready. And just like that, you killed your own future. Nobody else did it, you did. That's how powerful wrong thinking is. I once asked a group of young people, what's your dream? And you know what most of them said? They laughed nervously and said, I don't know. Not because they didn't have dreams, but because they were afraid to say them out loud. Afraid of judgment. Afraid of looking stupid. Afraid of admitting they wanted more than the life they were handed. That fear is not real. It's just a thought. But the thought is powerful enough to keep them average forever. Understand this. The world will always doubt you. That's normal. But the real tragedy is when you start doubting yourself. When you agree with the world. When you say, yes, maybe I can't. Yes, maybe I'm not good enough. The moment you agree, you lose. Because the strongest prison is not built with bars, it's built with your own beliefs. Let me give you a picture. Imagine a circus elephant. When it was a baby, the trainer tied it with a chain. The baby elephant tried to break free, but the chain was too strong. After many tries, it gave up. Years later, that same elephant is massive, powerful enough to break the chain easily. But it doesn't even try. Why? Because in its mind, the chain is unbreakable. That's how most people live. The chain is not real anymore, but the mind has accepted it. You might be living like that elephant right now. You have the power, the intelligence, the potential to change your life. But you don't even try. Because your thinking tells you it's impossible. You've accepted the chain. But let me ask you this. How many chains are you carrying that don't even exist anymore? How many times have you stopped yourself? Not because you couldn't do it, but because you thought you couldn't. And here's the cruel truth. Excuses feel safe in the moment, but they kill you slowly. People say, I'll do it later. I'll start when I have money. I'll try when I'm ready. But later never comes. Ready never comes. The graveyard is full of people who died waiting for the perfect moment. You need to understand, there will never be a perfect moment. There will only be now. And the difference between people who succeed and people who don't is not talent, it's not money, it's not luck. It's the courage to act while everyone else is still waiting. And the truth is simple. If you don't defeat that enemy inside your own mind, no success will ever stay with you. Let's be real. Most people are not stuck because life is unfair. They are stuck because of excuses. Every day they repeat the same lies. I don't have time. I don't have money. I don't have support. I'll start tomorrow. And they don't even realize that these excuses are the chains keeping them exactly where they are. Think about it. How many times have you said, I'll start when things calm down. But things never calm down. How many times have you said, I'll save some money first, but the money never comes? How many times have you promised yourself, I'll start tomorrow, and now years have passed? If you're honest, you'll see the problem is not the world. The problem is that you've been protecting your excuses more than your dreams. Let me tell you something uncomfortable. Success doesn't care about your excuses. Life doesn't reward people for almost trying. Nobody gets rich for having a good idea they never acted on. Nobody becomes healthy by saying they'll go to the gym next week. Nobody changes their life by waiting for the perfect moment. If you keep waiting, you'll die waiting. I once knew a man who kept saying, I'll start my business when I have enough money. 10 years later, he still had nothing. I also knew another man who said, I'll start small with what I have. It's not perfect, but at least I'll begin. 10 years later, he owned 3 companies. Same world, same problems, but different choices. One waited, the other acted. And here's the harsh truth. The longer you protect your excuses, the more they destroy you. Excuses feel safe, but they're poison. They comfort you today and rob you tomorrow. They make you feel better in the moment, but they kill your future silently. So stop lying to yourself. You do have time, but you waste it. You do have energy, but you spend it on distractions. You do have opportunities, but you're too afraid to grab them. The truth is, you're not missing resources. You're missing courage. And once you admit that, everything changes. Because the moment you stop protecting your excuses, you start protecting your future. And that's when life begins to shift. The good news is this, your mind can be trained. Just like a muscle, it grows stronger when you use it correctly. Wrong thinking is not permanent. You can reprogram it. You can rebuild it. And once you do, everything in your life begins to change. The first step is awareness. Start noticing the lies you tell yourself. When you hear that voice saying, I can't, stop and ask, is that really true, or is it just fear talking? Most of the time, it's just fear. And fear is nothing more than imagination used the wrong way. The second step is questions. Poor thinkers ask weak questions. Why me? What if I fail? Correct thinkers ask powerful questions. Why not me? What can I learn if I fail? How can I make this work with what I have? Change your questions and you change your answers. Change your answers and you change your life. The third step is action. Don't wait until you feel ready. You'll never feel ready. Start small, start messy, but start. The person who takes one imperfect step every day will beat the person who waits for the perfect plan every time. Consistency is more powerful than perfection. And finally, the fourth step is environment. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, not people who limit you. If your circle is full of complainers, you will become a complainer. If your circle is full of dreamers and doers, you will rise to their level. Your environment is either your prison or your power. Choose carefully. Remember, nobody was born knowing how to think correctly. It's a skill, and like any skill, you can learn it. You don't need to be the smartest, the richest, or the luckiest. You just need to take control of your mind before your mind controls you. The moment you start thinking differently, you start living differently. And when you live differently, everything, your work, your relationships, your future, begins to transform. One day, you will wake up, and it will be your last morning. You won't know it. You'll get out of bed like it's a normal day. You'll brush your teeth, check your phone, maybe complain about the weather or about traffic. But that day will be the end of your story. The final page. No more tomorrows. No more later. No more chances. And in that final moment, the only question that will matter is this. Did you truly live? Not did you exist? Not did you pay your bills on time? Not did you keep up with what society expected? But did you live? Did you chase the dreams inside you? Did you use the talents you were given? Did you leave something behind that proves you are here? Or did you play small, stay safe, and let life pass you by while you kept waiting for the right time? Let me tell you, the graveyard is the richest place on earth. Buried there are inventions never built, books never written, businesses never started, songs never sung, and dreams never lived. People took them to their graves, waiting, delaying, protecting their fear more than their future. And if you keep waiting, that is exactly where your dreams will end up too. But you are alive right now. You are breathing, which means you still have time. And that is the greatest gift life can give you, time. But the question is, what will you do with it? Most people waste their lives because they think they have more of it than they really do. They think, I'll start tomorrow. I'll try next year. I'll wait until I'm ready. But you are never ready. You will never have the perfect plan, and you don't need it. What you need is the courage to start, the courage to act, the courage to fail and rise again. History doesn't remember the people who waited. History remembers the people who moved. And I want you to imagine yourself 30 years from now, sitting alone, looking back at your life. Will you be proud? Will you say, I fought for my dream, I lived fully, I became the person I was meant to be? Or will you whisper to yourself, I wasted it, I was afraid, I had chances, but I let them slip away? That's the pain of regret. And it is far heavier than the pain of failure. Failure hurts for a moment. Regret lasts forever. And right now, in this very moment, you have the chance to choose which one you will carry. Will it be the short sting of trying and failing, or the lifelong weight of knowing you never even tried? Understand this. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to know everything. You don't need the approval of anyone else. All you need is a decision. A decision to start. A decision to break free from excuses. A decision to act in spite of fear. Because fear will never leave you. Excuses will never disappear. Time will never slow down. But if you move anyway, if you take that step, the world begins to open in ways you can't even imagine. This is not about motivation. This is about survival. If you keep living the same way, waiting, hiding, protecting your comfort, you are already dying. Slowly, silently, but if you decide to live with courage, if you decide to think differently, to act differently, to refuse to settle, then you are alive in the truest sense of the word. So let this moment be the line in the sand. Let this be the night, the day, the second, when you say, enough, no more waiting, no more excuses, no more wasting my life. From today, you rise. From today, you act. From today, you protect your dream more fiercely than your fear. Because the world does not need another person who almost tried. The world does not need another dream that died in silence. The world needs you, alive, awake, committed, unafraid. So hear me clearly. This is your life. This is your chance. This is your final warning. Do not waste it. Decide, act, live. Because if you don't, nobody will do it for you. And when the final page of your life is written, let it say, this was a person who lived fully. This was a person who never waited. This was a person who decided. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe, my friends. Ladies and gentlemen, let me start with a simple question. If I gave you two choices right now, choice A, win the lottery today, become a millionaire instantly. Choice B, improve yourself just 1% every single day for the next 5 years. Which one would you pick? Most people will say, of course the lottery. Who wants to wait 5 years? But here's the funny part. If you actually pick the lottery, chances are in 5 years you'll be broke again. If you pick self-improvement, you won't just have millions. You'll have the kind of mindset that creates millions again and again. See, success is never about the jackpot. It's about what you improve daily. Small things, tiny things, but consistent. Now let me tell you something. People like to ask me, what's the secret to success? And I always laugh because there is no big secret. The secret is actually boring. It's hidden in your daily habits. Think about it. Michael Jordan didn't become the greatest basketball player because one day he scored 60 points. No, he became great because he spent thousands of days improving little things. His free throws, his footwork, his defense, even when no one was watching. And yet we live in a world where everyone is chasing shortcuts. We want success like instant noodles. Add hot water, wait 2 minutes, done. But life doesn't work like that. You need to improve a few things daily, and over time, you become unstoppable. So today, I want to share with you 5 things you must improve every single day if you really want to change your life. Not tomorrow, not next month, daily. And the first thing is this: improve your clarity. You see, most people wake up in the morning and have no idea why they are alive. They check their phone, they scroll, they eat, they go to work, and then complain life is boring. My friend, if you live like that, you're not living, you're just existing. Clarity means knowing what you want. Every single day you must improve your clarity about your goals, your direction, your values. Think about it. Would you ever get in a taxi, sit down, and when the driver asks where to, you reply, just drive anywhere? No. But this is exactly how many people live their life. Driving fast but with no destination. Do you know what Einstein once said? He said, if you can't explain something simply, you don't understand it well enough. The same goes for your life. If you can't explain what you want in one sentence, you don't understand your own dream well enough. So here's a funny exercise you can try tonight. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, why am I doing what I'm doing? If your answer sounds like, because everyone else is doing it, congratulations, you've just discovered why you're stuck. Improving clarity means cutting out the noise. It means knowing what's important and ignoring what isn't. Steve Jobs was famous for wearing the same black turtleneck every day. Why? Because he didn't want to waste energy deciding what to wear. He wanted clarity. He saved his brain power for the things that mattered. So my friend, the first thing you must improve daily is your clarity. Write down your goals every morning. Review them every night. Ask yourself, am I moving closer to what I want, or am I just moving? Because remember this, motion is not progress. A rocking horse moves all day, but it doesn't go anywhere. Don't be the rocking horse. Now that you understand the power of improving your clarity every single day, let's talk about the second thing you must improve daily. And this one separates dreamers from doers. Improve your discipline. Listen carefully. Motivation is useless without discipline. Yes, I said it. Motivation is like sugar. It gives you energy for a moment, but then it fades. Discipline is like oxygen. It keeps you alive even when you don't feel like breathing. Here's the truth nobody likes to admit. Most people don't fail because they're not smart enough. They fail because they can't stay consistent long enough. Think about it. How many times have you started something with excitement? I'm going to the gym every day. I'm going to read 30 minutes a day. I'm starting a business this year. And 2 weeks later, you're watching TV with a bag of chips, telling yourself, I'll start again on Monday. We laugh, but we've all done it. That's why discipline is a daily practice, not a one-time decision. Let me tell you a story. Elon Musk once said that when he was building SpaceX, he slept on the factory floor and showered at the office. Why? Because rockets don't care about your mood. They care about math, precision, and discipline. And when Tesla was near bankruptcy, he didn't say, I'm not feeling inspired today. He showed up every single day. That's discipline. Here's the hard truth. If you only work hard when you feel like it, you'll never achieve anything beyond average. Let me give you an example everyone can relate to. Imagine you brush your teeth only when you're motivated. Some weeks, you'd have perfect hygiene. Other weeks, your mouth would be a disaster. Success works the same way. It's about showing up even when you don't want to. Now, how do you improve discipline daily? Start with micro promises. Tell yourself, I will read 2 pages today. Do it. I will work out for 10 minutes. Do it. I will wake up 10 minutes earlier. Do it. The size doesn't matter. The consistency does. Once you train your brain to keep small promises, it starts trusting you with bigger ones. Another powerful trick, make discipline easier than distraction. For example, if you want to read more, leave a book on your pillow. If you want to work out, pack your gym clothes the night before. If you want to stop wasting time on your phone, put it in another room while you work. Discipline is not about being a robot. It's about designing your environment to make good decisions automatic. And let me say this loud and clear. Discipline is more valuable than talent. I've seen average people outwork geniuses simply because they kept going when others quit. There's a saying I love, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So if you ever feel like you're not talented enough, not smart enough, not lucky enough, good. Because none of that matters if you have discipline. And here's the funny twist. Once discipline becomes a habit, it stops feeling like discipline. It just becomes part of who you are. People will look at you and say, wow, you're so motivated. But you'll know the truth. It's not motivation. It's discipline built day by day, brick by brick. So remember this. Clarity tells you where you're going. Discipline makes sure you actually get there. So we talked about clarity, knowing where you're going. We talked about discipline, doing the work even when you don't feel like it. Now let's talk about the third thing you must improve daily. Improve your communication. Listen carefully. Your ideas, your talents, your dreams, they mean nothing if you can't express them. How many times have you seen someone less talented, less qualified, even less hardworking, but they still got the promotion, the deal, or the recognition. Why? Because they knew how to communicate. The sad truth is, the world doesn't reward the best ideas. The world rewards the ideas that are communicated the best. Now, don't confuse communication with talking a lot. Some people think if they talk non-stop, they're great communicators. No, no, no. That's called annoying. Communication is about being clear, being confident, and being human. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're in a restaurant, and the waiter comes over. You ask, "What's good here?" And the waiter says, everything is good, maybe the chicken, but the fish is also okay. But some people like the pasta. By the time they finish, you've lost your appetite. Now imagine another waiter says, "Sir, if you want something light, take the grilled salmon. If you're hungry, take the steak, best in town." Boom. Clear. Confident. Done. That's communication. And let's be honest, most of us are terrible communicators. We use too many words, we go in circles, or we talk only about ourselves. Improving communication daily means practicing the art of connecting with people. Here's a trick you can start using today. Learn to tell stories. People don't remember data. They remember stories. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't say, "I have a strategic plan." He said, "I have a dream." And it moved a nation. Another trick, listen more than you talk. Great communicators aren't great because they speak beautifully. They're great because they make others feel heard. Think about the last conversation where someone actually listened to you with full attention. Didn't you feel amazing? That's the power of communication. Now here's a funny truth. Most of us are more afraid of public speaking than we are of death. Surveys show that at a funeral, most people would rather be in the coffin than giving the speech. But the only way to beat that fear is practice. Communicate daily. Speak up in meetings. Share your ideas, even if your voice shakes. Every time you practice, your fear shrinks and your confidence grows. And remember this, improving communication isn't just about speeches or business. It's about life. Your relationships, your friendships, your career, all rise or fall based on how you communicate. Think of it like this. Clarity gives you direction. Discipline keeps you walking. But communication opens the doors along the way. So every day, improve how you speak, how you listen, and how you connect. Because the people who change the world are not just the ones with big ideas. They're the ones who can share those ideas in a way that makes others believe. So we've covered clarity, discipline, and communication. Now comes the fourth thing you must improve every single day. Improve your emotional control. Let me ask you this. Have you ever sent a text message when you were angry and then later wished you could invent a time machine just to delete it? Yeah, me too. Here's the truth. A lack of emotional control has destroyed more relationships, more businesses, and more careers than lack of talent ever has. Think about it. You can be the smartest person in the room, but if you can't manage your anger, your fear, your jealousy, or your stress, you'll make stupid decisions. Even the greatest leaders in history were not the strongest or the most intelligent. They were the ones who could stay calm in chaos. Look at sports. Remember when Serena Williams lost a big match and the media criticized her reaction? People didn't judge her talent, they judged her emotional control. Because emotions are louder than skills. Let me give you another example. Thomas Edison. He failed over 1,000 times trying to invent the light bulb. If he had lost his patience after attempt number 50, today you and I would probably still be sitting in the dark, holding candles and arguing about whose turn it is to buy more matches. Emotional control is not about never feeling upset, never feeling scared, never feeling jealous. No. It's about learning to respond instead of react. Here's a simple daily practice. When something upsets you, don't reply immediately. Don't shout immediately. Don't act immediately. Pause, breathe, count to 10. Sometimes that tiny pause saves your job, your friendship, or even your marriage. Another trick, protect your energy. If you hang out with people who complain all day, you'll start complaining all day. If you scroll social media for hours, comparing your life with everyone else's highlights, you'll feel miserable. Improve your emotional control by controlling your environment. And here's a funny thought. When you argue with a fool, from far away, people can't tell who is who. So sometimes the smartest thing you can do is simply walk away. Daily improvement in emotional control means training your brain the same way you train your body. You don't go to the gym once and say, "Okay, I'm fit forever." No, you exercise daily. Same with your emotions. Every day, Practice patience. Practice gratitude. Practice letting small things go. Someone cuts you off in traffic? Don't spend the next hour screaming inside your car. Just smile and say, "Thank you for teaching me self-control, my friend." Because here's the truth. The stronger your emotional control, the less power the world has over you. And the less power the world has over you, the freer you become. So remember, clarity tells you where to go. Discipline keeps you moving. Communication opens doors. But emotional control makes sure you don't burn the whole house down while you're walking through those doors. So far, we've talked about 4 powerful things to improve daily: clarity, discipline, communication, and emotional control. Now comes the 5th and final one. And without this, everything else collapses. Improve your ability to learn and adapt. Let me ask you something. If you kept using the same phone from 2005, would you survive today? Imagine trying to install TikTok on a Nokia 3310. Impossible. Yet many people are trying to run their lives and careers on mental software that hasn't been updated in years. The world is changing every single day. If you don't learn and adapt, you get left behind. Simple as that. Remember Kodak? They once dominated photography, but they refused to adapt to digital cameras. Gone. Remember Blockbuster? They laughed at Netflix. Gone. The lesson is clear. It's not the strongest who survive, it's the ones who adapt the fastest. And here's the funny thing. Most people think learning stops after school. They graduate, throw their books away, and say finally, no more studying. But life doesn't work like that. The real exam starts the day you leave school, and it never ends. Every single day, you must improve your knowledge, your skills, your perspective. Read, listen, observe, ask questions, try new things. Even if it's just 10 minutes a day, learn something new. Because the more you learn, the more valuable you become. And the more adaptable you are, the harder it is for life to break you. Think of bamboo. It bends with the wind but doesn't break. That's adaptability. Strong, flexible, unstoppable. Be like bamboo. Here's a practical tip. Every night, ask yourself, what did I learn today that I didn't know yesterday? If the answer is nothing, then the day was wasted. And don't just learn from books, learn from people, from mistakes, from failures, from your own experiences. Mistakes are expensive lessons, but they are also the ones that stick forever. Now let me wrap this up. If you improve these 5 things daily, clarity of your goals, discipline to take action, communication to connect with people, emotional control to stay balanced, and learning to keep growing, then I promise you, 5 years from now, you will look back and not even recognize the person you used to be. Because success is not one giant leap. It is thousands of small steps taken daily in the right direction. So don't chase shortcuts. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start improving today, even if it's just 1%. Because one day, people will look at you and say, wow, you changed your entire life, and you'll smile. Because you'll know the truth. It wasn't one big change. It was 5 small improvements made every single day. Thank you for listening. And don't forget to like and subscribe, my friends. Do you know what the biggest lie is? That success takes years. No. My friend, success takes 5 months of clarity. But only if you stop living the same 5 years over and over again. So today, I want to show you something different. A real 5-month plan. Not a plan that lives in your notebook, but a plan that wakes you up at 6 a.m. with fire in your chest. Let's begin. You ever wonder why your life looks the same every year? Same job, same habits, same excuses. Yet every January you say, this year, I'll change. But then February comes and you're back to the same routine. Let me tell you something real. The biggest reason most people never succeed isn't lack of opportunity. It's lack of honesty. They lie to themselves beautifully. I'm trying. I'm waiting for the right time. I'll start soon. My friend, the right time never comes. You don't need a new year. You need a new attitude. The first month of your 5-month success plan is about one thing: brutal honesty. The kind that makes you uncomfortable. The kind that forces you to face the mirror and admit, I am the reason my life isn't moving. People can fight the world, but they can't fight their own excuses. Someone once told me, I feel stuck. I said, no, you're not stuck. You're scared. Scared of change. Scared of failing. Scared of being laughed at. But you know what's scarier? Staying the same for the next 10 years. If you want to grow, you have to break your comfort. You can't have a new life with old habits. And stop blaming others. My boss doesn't promote me. My parents don't support me. My city has no opportunities. The day you stop blaming is the day your life begins. When you blame, you hand your power away. When you own your problems, you get power back. If your job sucks, learn a skill. If your friends waste your time, find new company. If nobody believes in you, let their doubt fuel your fire. You don't lose because of lack of talent. You lose because you waste time. Let's be real. How many hours do you scroll on your phone every day? Multiply it by 30 days. That's your dream dying in slow motion. 3 hours a day means 90 hours a month, 1,000 hours a year. You could build a business in that time. You could change your life. The successful people don't have extra hours. They just don't waste them. And stop saying, I'm not motivated. You don't need motivation. You need clarity. If I ask, what do you want in life? Most people say, I just want to be successful. That's not a goal. That's a wish. Define it. What kind of success? Money, freedom, peace. Once you know exactly what you want and why you want it, motivation takes care of itself. You wake up ready. You stop snoozing. You start moving. One simple exercise. Tonight, no phone, no noise, just you and your thoughts. Ask yourself 3 questions. What do I want in the next 5 months? Why do I want it? And what am I ready to give up for it? Write the answers down. That list will change your life faster than any self-help book. And the way you talk to yourself, it matters. You keep saying, I'm lazy, and your brain believes it. Say, I'm learning discipline. You say, I can't do this. Say, I'll figure it out. You're building your future every time you open your mouth. So speak like someone who's going somewhere. I once knew a man who kept saying, I have no opportunities. His friend told him, then create one. He laughed, but that night he couldn't sleep. The next day, he started learning online. 5 months later, he was earning more than the job that rejected him. He didn't wait for luck. He built it. One honest day at a time. So here's my challenge for you. This month, be brutally honest with yourself. Audit your time. Write your goals. Stop saying one day, because one day isn't a real date. Today is. The moment you stop lying to yourself, your 5-month success plan truly begins. And trust me, if you can survive the first month with honesty, you've already beaten most people out there. This is where your story starts. You know what separates the people who keep dreaming from the ones who actually win? It's not luck. It's not talent. It's hunger to learn. The second month of your 5-month success plan is all about feeding that hunger, learning like your life depends on it, because in many ways, it does. Most people stop learning the moment school ends. They get a job, learn the minimum, and press repeat for years. Then they wonder why life feels the same. My friend, the world changes every 6 months. If you stop learning, the world doesn't wait for you. It replaces you. I once met a guy who said, I don't have time to learn new things. I asked him, how many hours do you watch Netflix? He said, around 2 hours a day. I smiled and said, congratulations, you just found time. It's never about time, it's about priorities. You find time for what matters to you. This month, replace at least 1 hour of entertainment with education. 1 hour a day for 30 days. That's 30 hours. You can finish 2 books, a whole online course, or master a new skill in that time. Imagine doing that for 5 months. That's a new version of you. Learning isn't boring if you link it to your dream. If you want to start a business, learn sales, marketing, communication. If you want freedom, learn how money works. If you want confidence, learn how people think. Every skill you learn adds a brick to your dream. The funny part is, most people say, I don't know where to start. You're living in the easiest time in history to learn anything. You can learn from the best people in the world for free. YouTube, podcasts, books, even short clips on your phone. But most people would rather scroll through drama than study how to change their own story. Don't be one of them. Be the person who turns curiosity into power. Read when others sleep. Listen when others gossip. Ask questions that make people think. Curiosity turns average people into experts. Let me tell you a story. There was a delivery boy who loved tech videos. Every night after work, he would watch tutorials instead of wasting time online. In 6 months, he learned basic coding. In a year, he built his own small app. Today, he earns more than his old boss. He didn't have a degree. He had curiosity and YouTube. The point is simple. When you stop learning, you stop growing. And when you stop growing, life stops rewarding you. If you don't upgrade yourself, the world will downgrade your value. People often ask, what if I fail while learning? My answer, fail fast. Fail forward. Failure in learning is not real failure, it's tuition. You're paying life to teach you. Every mistake teaches you something school never did. You must also learn one more skill, the skill of focus. Learning doesn't mean jumping from topic to topic. Pick one direction, go deep, and get good at it. Mastery gives confidence. Dipping your toes in 10 things gives confusion. And remember, when you start learning something new, you'll look stupid at first. Everyone does. Don't worry. Looking stupid for a few weeks is better than staying broke for a lifetime. Every expert was once an amateur who didn't quit after looking silly. I'll tell you what to do this month. Choose one skill connected to your dream. Write it down, then commit 1 hour a day to it. Use every free minute in buses, at lunch, before bed to feed your brain. Keep a notebook or a notes app just for learning. Track what you learn each day. After 30 days, you'll have more knowledge, more confidence, and more direction than you've ever had before. And the best part, learning gives you something most people never feel, momentum. When you start learning, your mind wakes up. You start seeing ideas everywhere. You begin to feel alive again. So in this second month, stop waiting for opportunities and start preparing for them. The world doesn't reward the most talented person. It rewards the most prepared. And learning is the ultimate preparation. Give yourself permission to be a student again. Because the moment you stop learning, your 5-month success plan stops working. But if you keep learning like crazy, nothing in the world can stop you. Let's be honest. Everyone loves planning, but very few love doing. The 3rd month is where most people quit. Not because it's hard, but because it's boring. The excitement fades, the motivation drops, and reality kicks in. This month is where your dream either dies or starts breathing. You've been honest with yourself in month 1. You've learned new things in month 2. Now, it's time to do something about it. Because knowledge without action is just a fancy form of procrastination. You can't think your way to success. You have to move your way there. When I started working years ago, I used to write long lists, goals, steps, routines, all perfect on paper. But nothing changed. Then one day I realized plans don't build success. Consistent action does. Even a small action, repeated daily, beats a perfect plan that never starts. Execution is not about speed. It's about direction and consistency. Imagine trying to push a car that's stuck. The first few seconds take all your strength. But once it starts moving, it gets easier. That's how execution feels. The first few weeks are heavy. You'll doubt yourself, you'll feel lazy, and you'll want to quit. But once you get momentum, it becomes addictive. Let's talk about a big trap, overthinking. Some people plan so much that they never start. They want everything perfect before they begin. But here's the truth. Perfection is just another name for fear. You don't need perfect conditions. You need courage to start. Start messy. Start scared. Just start. A young man once asked me, what if I make mistakes? I told him, you will. Everyone does. The only difference is, successful people learn from mistakes while others run from them. Mistakes are proof that you're moving. You can fix mistakes. You can't fix doing nothing. This month, your focus is one word, execution. Don't read 10 more books. Don't watch 10 more motivational videos. Take what you've already learned and apply it. If you learned communication, talk to people. If you learned marketing, post your first ad. If you learned coding, build something small. Turn your knowledge into movement and stop chasing motivation every day. Motivation is like coffee. It wakes you up for a while, but you need discipline to stay awake. Make discipline your best friend, because when you're tired, lazy, or uninspired, discipline is the only thing that will carry you forward. Here's a rule. Do one uncomfortable thing every day. Send that message. Make that call. Record that video. Talk to that client. The magic is always hiding in discomfort. Once you make a habit of doing uncomfortable things, fear starts losing its power over you. You'll face resistance. People will doubt you. Some will laugh. Some will ignore you. That's good. If no one doubts you, you're not doing anything worth noticing. Silence your critics with results, not arguments. Let me share a small example. A friend of mine wanted to start a small business. He had the plan ready for 6 months but never launched because he was still preparing. One day, he just decided enough thinking. He launched. The first week he failed. The second week he improved. The third week he made his first sale. 6 months later, he was making more than his job. The turning point wasn't a strategy, it was a decision to execute. So this month, forget about being perfect. Focus on being consistent. Show up every day. Do something that moves the needle. 1 hour a day with focus can change your life faster than you think. And when it gets tough, because it will remind yourself why you started, think about the person you promised to become. You owe it to that version of yourself, because execution is where dreams start walking. Talk less, do more, complain less, improve more. Think less, act more. That's how month 3 turns effort into momentum. You ever notice that right when things start getting better, life suddenly hits you harder? That's not a coincidence. The moment you begin to move forward, the universe tests how badly you actually want it. Month 4 is that test. The pressure month, the make or break stage of your journey. When you start seeing small results, 2 things happen. 1, you get excited. 2, life throws chaos at you. Unexpected problems, criticism, delays, even self-doubt. You'll wonder, why now? Why? When I'm finally trying. But that's how growth works. The test always comes after the lesson. Most people quit here. Not because they can't win, but because they misread pressure. They think pressure means I'm not ready. No. Pressure means you're almost there. Every big change comes with resistance. The same way a rocket shakes the hardest right before it breaks free from gravity, your life shakes hardest right before a breakthrough. You will feel tired. You'll have days when your mind says, what's the point? You'll feel invisible. You'll think no one notices your effort. But let me tell you something. The world always notices eventually. You just have to last long enough to be seen. This month, you'll feel the weight of discipline. You'll feel the loneliness of growth. You'll see friends who started with you stop halfway. Don't follow them, keep walking. Because the moment you slow down to comfort others, you lose your own rhythm. Pressure also reveals your weaknesses, your patience, your mindset, your focus. Don't panic when that happens. Pressure is not your enemy, it's your mirror. It shows you what still needs to grow. Use it. If you're feeling overwhelmed, it means you're expanding. Growth is never comfortable. Let me tell you about a small restaurant owner I once met. When his business started growing, he got overwhelmed. New orders, new customers, new problems. He almost shut down. But instead, he took a deep breath and learned to manage pressure instead of running from it. A year later, he opened his second branch. He told me, the growth didn't kill me. My fear almost did. That's the truth for all of us. Fear of pressure kills more dreams than failure ever could. When you feel pressure, remind yourself it means you're being trusted with more. Bigger responsibilities only come to people who can handle them. And yes, you'll fail a few times this month. You'll miss a day. You'll make a bad decision. That's okay. Just don't make the same mistake twice. Adjust, adapt, move on. Success is not a straight line. It's a zigzag of chaos, lessons, and tiny wins. Most people want success to feel easy, but nothing worth having ever feels easy at first. Remember, diamonds are made under pressure, not comfort. So this month, your job is simple. Don't break. When everything feels heavy, remind yourself why you started. When people doubt you, remind yourself that they doubted everyone who ever made history. When your plan fails, build a new one. But don't stop. Because if you survive this month, something powerful happens. You stop chasing discipline, it becomes a part of you. Your habits become automatic. Your self-belief becomes natural. And suddenly, you realize you're no longer trying to succeed. You're becoming success itself. Keep your head down, keep your heart strong, and keep moving. Pressure doesn't destroy the strong. It forges them. Look at you. You made it to month 5. Most people quit in month 1. Others disappeared in month 3. But you're still here, still standing. Maybe tired, maybe bruised, but still fighting. And that's exactly why this month is special. This is the transformation month. This is where the small wins turn into big results. The habits you forced yourself to build now feel natural. The things that scared you now excite you. You wake up and realize you've changed. Not because the world got easier, but because you got stronger. This final month isn't about chasing more. It's about mastering what you've built. When you start getting results, don't get arrogant. Stay humble, stay hungry. The same consistency that got you here will take you higher. People forget that success is not a moment, it's a lifestyle. You'll notice something funny around this time. The people who once doubted you will start calling you lucky. They won't see the nights you cried, the mornings you didn't feel like moving, the failures you kept quiet about. Let them call it luck. You know it's discipline. Now something deeper happens in this stage. You start to outgrow certain people, certain habits, even certain dreams. Don't resist it. Transformation always requires shedding the old version of you. You can't carry your past and your future at the same time. Let go of what no longer serves you. 5 months ago, you might have been confused, scared, or lost. But every day you showed up, even when no one was watching. And that's what separates dreamers from doers. Most people wait to feel ready. You didn't. You just started. And that one decision changed everything. Now it's time to solidify your momentum. Take what you've learned and teach it to someone else. Because when you teach, you grow twice. Share your lessons, your failures, your journey. Not to brag, but to inspire. Because the world doesn't need more talkers. It needs examples. Let me tell you the truth. Success is not the cars, the money, or the applause. Success is waking up with peace. Success is knowing you kept your promise to yourself. Success is looking in the mirror and saying, I didn't quit on me. That's real victory. But this isn't the end. It's the beginning of your next level. The 5-month plan isn't magic. It's a system that awakens the best version of you. Now every new challenge you face will feel different because you'll face it with strength, not fear. Remember this. 5 months of effort can change 5 years of your life. If you can stay consistent, learn endlessly, execute fearlessly, and rise under pressure, you can rewrite your story no matter where you started. So as you finish this journey, take a deep breath and say to yourself, I'm not done, I'm just getting started. Because the world hasn't even seen your full potential yet. And when they do, they'll realize the person they once ignored became the person they now admire. Keep growing, keep learning, keep executing, and never, ever forget, 5 months of discipline can do what 5 years of dreaming never will. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe, my friends.